everybody is doing well. I've got a little bit of a new setup here today, so hopefully you guys can see me better. All right, so mid-low back week, and we are on day 2 of mid-low back, and we are going to do some abdominal bracing and some low back work. In the sense that we're going to get the abdominals to support the low back. So when we talk about the low back, it's not just how hard the low back is working, but how the rest of those postural systems are supporting the low back. So what do you need today? You need the floor, you need a chair, and a big ball, a pillow, the back of a couch, something like that. We're just doing that for the stretch. But that's it. So let's get into it. All right, get my big ball out of the way, make sure everybody can see me. And the first one we're going to do is just a pelvic tilt. So you're going to get in a bent knee position. All right. Oh, I got my clip in today. That's going to be a pain in the bum. There, we'll do that. All right, and then the first one is just a posterior pelvic tilt. So I want you to imagine that you have a giant space here, a space big enough that you can put your hands in. And then I want you to close that space in. Now, the primary complaint when people do posterior pelvic tilts is they say, I don't feel anything. This just feels like I'm wiggling around. So what I want you to focus on is I want you to put the pressure through your heels a little bit so you can wiggle your toes if you need to, okay? And then I want you to imagine you're going to initiate a sit-up. So we're going to tilt and flatten that curve in the low back. We're going to squash that down. If you need to, put a towel in there to give you some more feedback. If you want to put your hands in there to give you some more feedback. And I really want you to squish, but squish like you're going to initiate a sit-up. So you should be able to feel your abdominal muscles shake a little from doing that because we're tilting and we're contracting the abdominals. You're pulling your belly button down through your spine into the table or the floor. All right? So I feel this work. I'm doing an actual abdominal contraction here as I do that posterior pelvic tilt. I'm forcing my abs to contract. Now my head isn't moving, my shoulders aren't moving. I'm maintaining my good postural alignment, but I'm using my abs to, if you imagine your pelvis as a cup, I'm dumping that cup out the back. I'm using my abdominal muscles to pull my pelvis forward. And I'm doing that posterior pelvic tilt. All right? These should be work. If they're not work, you're just wiggling. All right? So I want you to make sure that these are work and you're actually using your abs to pull your pelvis forward from the front, dump it out the back. All right? So the next one we're going to do, posterior pelvic tilt, and you're just going to march up. All right? And then put that foot down. What I want you to notice is if your hips shimmy shake a little bit. All right, so tilt, other foot march, down, and relax that tilt. Tilt, march, down, and relax. Tilt, march, down, and relax. So when you relax, you don't have to go into a big arch. I just want you to let those abdominal muscles go. Because we want to make sure that the right muscles are working. So we're tilting, we're marching, we're putting it down, and we're relaxing it. Tilt, march, down, and relax. And again, tilt, march, down, and relax. Now, if you find that when you march up, this other hip, like if I don't have my abs controlling that, I shift as I march up, right? I shift off that butt cheek. Feel free to put your hands under your butt cheeks and press down. So I'm going to squash this hand a little bit. I'm going to use my abs to hold me there as I bring it down. So tilt, squash the other butt cheek. The down butt cheek squashes into your hand. Relax. Tilt, squash the butt cheek right into that hand. Down and relax. So your abs are working the entire time. All right? We're going to move on to a bridge. Now, what I want you to do for the bridge is I want you to get your heels right up next to your butt. All right? as close as you can comfortably get. Because if you're feeling this in the hamstrings, you're not working the butt as much, you're working the hamstrings more. You're just going to come up and go down. It's not exciting, but we're using the abs and the glutes. So start with that posterior pelvic tilt. Fire those abs off. Push up through your butt. See that nice straight line there? That's what we're looking for. If you can't go that high, don't go that high. Totally fine. All right? Push up with the butt. Squeeze the butt at the top. This is a butt exercise. We're getting those glutes firing. Get your alignment good. Arms long so you're engaging your shoulder blades. Abs are engaged. Your abs are controlling that. Your butt is pushing. So tilt. Drive through your heels. Squeeze your butt. Slowly lower. Relax that tilt. Tilt. Squeeze the butt. Keep that tilt. Slowly release. So I don't want any plunking here. So we're not like coming crashing down to an anterior pelvic tilt. We're slowly releasing that tilt as we come down. So we're slowly contracting the tilt. Lifting the butt up off the table, slowly releasing down, and relaxing down. All right, so 3 sets of 10 for all those. Get you nice and warmed up. All right. We're gonna do the ball stretch next because it feels really good. So big ball. Again, you can do this like over the back of a couch. Wherever you can get your back to open up a little bit. And then you're just going to roll forward over the ball. Open up your back. Those little low back muscles work really, really hard. Probably harder than they should because we sit in that desk posture all day. So give them a rest. Open them up. Oh, so good. And then roll back up. All right. You can also do this one sitting against a wall. There we go. And just lean forward. Open that low back. All right. As you get lower, breathe in and go even lower into the exhale, okay? So breathe in, stretch, and then exhale into that. Feel the low back. So if you get some shoulder blade stretch here, totally fine, but I want you to open your low back. Open that stretch. If it hurts, don't do it. As always, that's your body's way of saying no thank you. There is muscle fatigue pain, and then there's like legitimate pain. And if you're having legitimate pain, don't do it. Whatever it is, just don't do it. Yeah. Okay, so this next one is great for low back pain. So if your low back is talking to you left, right, and center, it's sort of like right around the middle, wraps around the hips, and it's just sore all the time, and you can't get out of it, and you're sort of like, you don't know what to do. You get a heat pack on, you get your pain meds, it's just hurting a lot. I want you to do this next one. 10 minutes, throw a heat pack under it, under your low back. Obviously, a heat pack that's not going to burn you. If you need extra layers because you're squashing it down, throw an extra towel in there. But this one's going to be for you. All right? So, what I want you to do, I'm going to show you up on the table because I think this is the best setup for you guys to see. But for you, I want you to picture laying on the floor with your legs up over like a kitchen chair. All right? So, wish me luck. All right. So, your hips are at 90-90, about 90 degrees bent to the knees, 90 degrees bent to the hips. This is a little bit short for what I wanted to do. So I want you to be in a position where you feel like your tailbone is just about to be lifted off the floor. All right? This is a nice, comfortable traction position. If you want, you can push down on your thighs a little bit. Open that spine. Gentle. This should feel really good. All right? So my hands are just sort of like in the in that little shelf there in that hip space, the bend between the hip and the abdominals. And I'm just pushing down a little bit. If this hurts your neck, don't push down a little bit. If you have that nice space between where the top of your knees are and the table, the floor, you should feel just a gentle stretch at the base of your spine. Just hang out here. Put a hot pack underneath you. If you need to bump up where your legs are, put some pillows. And just hang out and let your back relax. This is just a little traction position. It just offloads the spine a little bit. Get some opening in your lumbar spine in case somebody's getting pinched in there. Or if the muscles are just really bound down and they need sort of like a low load stretch. And hang out here for 10 minutes or so. Yeah, and that should feel really good. And I think that's all I have for today. So I know we did a lot of mid-back stuff already and some shoulder stuff, but I think just checking my little paper. Yeah, comments, questions, concerns. I'm happy as always to answer anything you've got. I hope everybody has a great midweek. If you live in the Northeast, Friday is going to be ridiculously cold, so don't spend too much time outside. And if there's anybody you should check on them. Make sure that your friends and family and neighbors are safe and warm, and that's it. Good luck, everybody. See you on Friday morning.